Welcome back, everybody. This is Mog on Mog Squad, playing some Kerbal Space Program once more with you folks today. Back in our first game, our first Let's Play that we ever did, Kerbal Space Program got us going, and we're going to be jumping back in. This is probably going to be the first, if, well, it might be one or two episodes in, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be the first. So welcome back into Season 2, huh? So there we go, we're launching up, and as you can see here, this is an unmanned craft, and it's going to be doing a little mission out on another planet. We're going to be heading to Duna in this bad boy. It's basically going to act as a satellite for that planetary system, and going to be kind of giving us an eye in the sky on in and around Duna for when we actually launch a manned mission, which shouldn't be too much longer, guys. We're going to get out some satellites, do some things like that. I don't think I'm going to do the cathane. Well, I might do cathane. I installed it. It's kind of a little weird because I've got like both sets of parts from the last set of mods to make it work. But, yeah, so it's kind of a little weird, but we're definitely going to be pushing out and doing that kind of thing. I don't think we're going to do the MapSat, ISA MapSat, because with that on a ship, I tend to get some issues, like super laggy during launch, up to about 15k above the surface, or altitude, I should say. Let's turn down that thrust before we shoot past 200 and start breaking our maximum velocity for this atmosphere at this point. So yeah, we just want to keep it around 200. I know you guys have seen a lot of these launches. I tended to do them a lot in the last season while I was kind of getting more familiar with things, but I figure, I mean, the launch is the difficult part. This is when you when everything kind of comes into play very, very heavily, and you want to be very careful with things. So I kind of like to show them, because it does show that I'm actually launching these, you know, legitimately, as opposed to some folks you might see out there who might edit files, use mods to launch out to certain altitudes and all that, which I get it, there's reasons to do it, and I've been definitely noticing and paying more attention to that because of the issues I've been having. So let's break those. Oh, thank God we didn't hit those. I was still tilting a little bit. Now, I know I tilted a little late. I like to actually get up around 12k before I tilt over, and then I do a slow tilt down to about the 45. And the reason for this is because I think, like, as you get up, especially with a heavier craft, 12k is about the point where you break that first heavy layer of ammo. Now, I might end up being totally wrong on this, and it's not necessary or whatever, but it's a habit, and I think it's a good one because it gets you that upward momentum when you're going through the tough gravity or the tough atmosphere. And then once you break that, and it's easier to kind of you know, do your thing up in lower atmosphere, thinner atmosphere, it just becomes a little easier, I think. But as you can see, this ship, even with all of its wings and winglets and whatnot, it does still tend to tilt getting up to this point in the atmo, which is fine. As soon as we drop these last set of tanks, it becomes a lot easier and becomes a lot more stable. It does shake a bit here, and as you can see, like, it's definitely doing some rotating. I'm actually going to turn on some RCS just for a little bit, just to help out with this initial climb. But we're definitely getting up some speed, getting close to the 40k mark. I'm going to turn back off that RCS. We don't have a whole lot to burn. Actually, we don't even have RCS. Whatever. Okay. So we're at the 40k mark, and we're about to lose these tanks. Let's push and brake, and this becomes a lot easier at this point. Now, I'm going to show you a closer look of the satellite we're launching up here, and kind of give you an idea of what kind of craft we're working with. Well, we just launched with pretty standard. It's a, whoa, we got a high orbit. That's fine, though. 150 is fine. I'm going to stop there, though, and actually get my node set up. Now, I did, before this video, jump out to Chuck, who was one of my initial satellites I launched out into the system. Before filming this season. It was just kind of like a messing around thing, but I think I'll keep it because it's a good time warp point. 156, 141, that's close enough, and it'll get us into a stable orbit. Whoa, we're tilting. Okay, let's not do that. Let's not play that game. I'm going to turn on just a little bit of thrust to maybe get that vectoring to help us out here. And turn on MechJeb to float up, or to hopefully get fixed on this. Come on! I'm going to use a little bit of thrust here to make sure that we're turning around. It is still a bit tough to maneuver at this size. And we are killing a little bit of our velocity, but that's fine. I still know about where I need to land on velocity overall to get into orbit. Okay. There we go, we're tilting back toward it. Rotating's fine, usually. But we're doing okay. So we're about 110 up into orbit currently, and we're working toward that 143 mark is our current apoapse, which is where we're going to burn. It's not exactly where we need to be for our node, and it's not exactly where it was set up, but it'll be close enough. It's well out of atmo. So let's take a look here while we're kind of floating along, and I'll show you actually what I've built. So let me show you the interplanetary stage. This guy. It's a small Rockomax with a Nerva engine here, the nuclear engine, and then a couple of smaller tanks with 2 more Nerva engines to give enough thrust. With a single one, it's really slow to build up speed. With the less weight and just this this payload up here, basically, with this, 3 engines pushes it pretty well. So we're coming up on about a minute to our burn point, and we got about 1 minute and 8 seconds worth of a burn that it's estimating, which seems about right. Now, we are going to get a lot of push out of this one. We don't have to rely on our Nervas just yet. That's, like I mentioned previously, that's our interstellar stage. So let's speed up time just a little bit and get up to about this point, and we're going to gun it. Now, sometimes I like to be very careful with these rockets because they are prone to break, especially up in zero gravity like this, and you just insta-thrust, and it pushes a lot. Can snap them, but I've got a lot of good reinforcement in here. I use these little guys, the structure pieces you can attach, and then I attach cables to those, so it's kind of like an outside frame almost, and it actually holds things together really well. And then there's some internal struts around the Nerva engine for that open part. So we're about halfway there, and about halfway on our timing, so we're looking pretty good. I think we timed this well. This should get us into orbit, and then I'm going to take a look out at Duna and make sure that we're still in the right position. So, on the topic of next season, I do have some news for you folks. A lot of the subscriber astronauts, Kerbonauts that we had in the previous season have been lost, unfortunately, because of all the issues with switching over to the new updates, things like that. Files have gotten corrupted. There are a couple of you still out and about, and I'll make sure that, you know, we get you involved and get you back into the action. But overall, for a lot of you guys that had them, it may be a little bit before we get them back. I need to basically relaunch up some missions, not missions. I need to relaunch up some new ships with crew, and that's what you guys are gonna be flying. We'll get you back out there. I'd like to also add a few new ones, so we'll see if anybody gets that opportunity, or anybody wants an opportunity for an astronaut, a Kerbonaut, if you will. I'm sure there's been a few that mentioned it in previous episodes, and it was like, you know, there are ways that I put out there that you guys can get these in here, and like little suggestions. Building craft for me to fly will definitely net you a Kerbal in my program. But above and beyond that, like, I just wanted to keep it kind of exclusive to like the first 10 subscribers I had. Big ups to those guys. That's why they got the Kerbals, or maybe it was the first 20. How many? I think it was only 10. I'll look back and find out. It's not a terribly important issue right now, but yeah. But definitely there are ways. I would love to get you guys involved, especially if you guys come up with good mission plans, good ideas for things to do on on those missions. Especially if you build me a craft file with your copy of Kerbal Space Program and send it over. I'd like to keep it all stock. I've mentioned that previously, but yeah, that's kind of the hitch. Is it does need to be all stock, or if I'm using any specific mods. Like I do have the new mech jeb. I don't know if it's new now. I actually haven't checked since the last update. But I've got this version of mech jeb, and that's approved. But the hitch there is I also want it detachable. So like this one's on a small satellite, which isn't as big of a deal. I really should have this on a junior node, a junior docking node, and then another one there to launch it off. Is how I'd like to do it. But let's take a look. I think we're getting up into orbit. We're fine there. Let's take a look at where that line is, and we're going to target up Duna. Oopsie daisy. Sometimes when you click it and then click off of it, it won't let you click it again, it seems. Let's take a look. I have the calculator up on the other screen. Gosh, I hope that didn't cut out while I deselected the menu there. Just saying, I have the calculator, the Interactive Illustrated Interplanetary Guide and Calculator for KSP. Helps getting angles to know when to burn out to other planets, things like that. Which is what I'm using it for. And we want to burn at about here, I think. So let's push this out, and we'll take a look at what we need to burn out there. I'm pretty sure we're gonna be all good. Oh, we got a collision with the moon. Well, not a collision, but an encounter with the moon, if you will. And okay, so let's push that out. Ooh, there was a encounter there. We nailed this. Right there. Perfect. Okay, so that's going to be our burn. Let's get set up. It takes a 37-second burn with this engine, which we're probably going to run out of fuel before that completes, and we'll have to switch to the Nervas, which are going to be a little bit longer. So I am going to burn a bit early. For now, let's see if we can get this tilting up toward the node. And I'm going to turn that. Okay. And with that, let's go ahead and fast forward and get up to this point, just so that I'm not keeping you guys hanging around while we're doing stuff. I know it was kind of a little bit of a wait there while I talked about some stuff, showed you the ship, whatnot, but that's okay. We're going to get going. I'm going to strive very hard this season to not leave you guys hanging while we're transferring in orbit as much. I know I was doing a lot in the previous season, but I feel like I've gotten a little better at talking and playing. If you were with us from the get-go, you were probably well aware that, yeah, I wasn't so great at that, especially in games like Bioshock Infinite. My god, that was a difficult Let's Play on such a hard difficulty. We were playing it on 1989 difficulty, and I did not finish the game yet. I'm thinking about going back to it and maybe lowering the difficulty a little bit to just finish it. But we started on 1989 difficulty, and it was a blind playthrough, and yeah, so that was a bit tricky. And there goes our engines there. Let's burn up these Nervas. Alright, how long do we need? About 2 minutes, and we're at T-minus 45-ish, so that's fine. I think we're going to be right on target for the most part. We're going to be a little off, but not enough to matter a huge deal. Burning up, let's get our display up here, and take a look and watch. We've got about 400 to burn, 480 milliseconds to burn, delta V to burn. But yeah, so let's take a closer look at this, shall we? I won't miss when I'm supposed to shut off my burn. But check it out. So as you see, there's these little spines here with these that detach. And there's another one there because these pylons here that stuck out, the structured pylon thing, actually was sticking to the probes. Because yeah, I wanted to show this off. This satellite, the main part, functions as its own satellite, and these 4 individual ones also function as satellites. So, or probes, I should say. So this main one, the big center, is going to orbit around Duna, and then these 4 probes manned with a little bit of rocket fuel and these tiny little side rockets and a bunch of, what am I trying to say? The electric motor, these guys. The ion engines, that's what it is. They got a lot of xenon on board, so they got a ton of delta V, but it's just slow, especially because they don't have a whole lot of power generation, so you got to take it kind of easy and sometimes do multiple burns, multiple orbits before you get where you're going, which can be a little bit tricky sometimes, for sure. So we're burning out. Have we broken? I don't think we've even broken Kerbal just yet. Oh, there we go. We're getting there. Just about. We're still on an encounter with the Mun, but that's slowly shortening and should disappear soon. So let's zip back out, take another look. It's going to start pushing. There it is. Okay, are we overheating? No, we're looking good. Burning out. Now this is, once we get this burn down, I'm going to make some adjustment burns coming in and making sure that we're looking all good for our encounter. So we can use minimal fuel and get to where we're going. That's the idea. These interplanetary missions. Let's turn this down a little bit. I know we're a little over time, but it's close. So 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we have an encounter. How are we looking? If we turn... Oh, we're going higher. Okay, let's leave it there. Let's leave it right there. Kill that node. Zoom back out, make sure we're looking good. Which I'm pretty sure we are. 34 mil. Was that 34 mil? Encounter. So we are a long ways off that surface of Duna, but that's fine. Let's crank up this time warp and take a look. We're even on good inclination. Wow, 0.1 off. That is not bad. Alright. Let's push that higher, and we're just going to get going. So zipping out, we have left Kerbal behind in the dust. Where have you gone? We can't even see you. Bye-bye, Kerbal. We'll miss you. Ooh, okay, cool. We are keeping electricity. I was like, oh gosh, did I remember electricity on this probe? But thankfully, these little guys on the outside... Oh, and it's got the thermals. That should all keep it in pretty good position. Alright, so Kerbal is leaving us. We are coming up on Duna. And it's looking good. We are looking... I'm actually really excited about this. Oh, whoa, wrong button. Okay, let's turn this down, though. And I'm going to take a look. See if we can set up possibly a burn here to adjust a little bit better. So that's descending. Can we get that to 0? Actually, do I want that at 0? No, I kind of want to do a polar orbit. I'm actually going to raise this a little bit. It might screw up our encounter a little bit. But that's not what I'm aiming for. Let's see. Actually, you know what? We're going to keep it. We're going to keep it at where it was. Because I don't want to mess this up too much right now. But I do want to see if I can lower our encounter. Bring it in a little bit. So 36, 36.9, still 36.9. Can I drag it out to the side? Nope. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. We have an encounter. Let's just get to the encounter, shall we? Okay. Probesy probes. Heavy satellite Mark 1. This was the first design, basically. I did have to make some quick adjustments, but I've been kind of nailing, like, not to sound kind of like, you know, super full of myself. I'm just excited. I've actually been getting good at this. I've been like nailing building these rockets lately. Okay. Let's see. 3 days. 3 days, 19. Okay, so we got about a 10-hour window on the encounter, so that's more than enough time to make this burn count. So let's zip on in. We just passed out behind Duna, and it's going to be catching up on us now. That's basically how this encounter worked, is we passed in front of it and then outside and then slowed down, let it catch up, basically. So here we are, encountered. Alright, let's take a look here. Can we... Oh, not there. We want the blue one. Can we burn this in? Looks like we sure can. Periaps at 800. Let's do that. That's looking good. And now this version of the ship actually does have a little bit of maneuverability, even without RCS, which is good because maneuvering in space so slow. I think I want it on free. This camera's just a little bit weird. Is that Duna? That is Duna. Way down there. I'm going to turn on some physical time warp and actually just get moving here. Okay. So getting out there, we need about a 3-minute burn. We have more than enough. Basically 931 Delta V was what's required of us for this burn. We have 3,583 available to us in this stage alone. That's not counting the ion engines or the next stage, which has its own set of fuel. Okay, so we are right on target there. Let's turn that down and get moving. We need a 3-minute burn. We're at 2 hours out. So dropping that like a rock. Getting ready to get into orbit here. Okay. 2010. We're close now. Let's crank this up a little bit. We need about a minute and a half worth of burn to our T-minus. So I'm going to do it right here, just in case we encounter any issues. And we don't want to go full throttle either, because these are nuclear engines. They do overheat and they can explode. Never a fun combination. We are slowing down. And getting ourselves locked into this orbit. You can see it start to slowly creep in. It's pretty slow right now, because we definitely need to start braking our speed. But once we get that broken a bit more, we're going to be looking good. So, let's see. Cannot warp. Oh, I guess. Okay, that makes sense. But we can. Physical warp, yes. So let's do that. Let's physical warp that. I'm just going to kind of hang out in this view. But yeah, so what's going to happen is this one we're going to get our tight polar orbit around Duna. Well, not so tight. I don't want it to be super close. But we're going to get our orbit around Duna and then launch out our probes so that they can hit the moons. And I think Duna only has 2 moons, if I'm not mistaken. We can actually take a quick look. Kind of. Or is it just the one? Is it really just the one? Just Ike? Oh, whatever. We got 4 probes. Well, we actually have 5 probes. So maybe what I'll do is leave this one in a standard orbit along the equator, and then launch our other guys out to do polar orbits on the moons. Whoa, almost burnt right past our point. So there we go, we are locked in tight there. Kill rotation, stop going toward that node. Okay, so let's kill our time warp there and then kick up actual time warp. But before we actually do that, we should take a look. Let's get in with good angling on Ike. So hopefully, because Ike goes around the equator, right? If I'm not mistaken, pretty sure. We want to burn that down, I think, or is that going up? That is going up, okay. Burn that down, and we'll fix our inclinations. Kind of. How's this? 178, what's that? 177, okay. Nope. Nope, 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 go away. We're gonna wait until we get closer. Oh, that's because we're going past it. Okay, I see. We're coming in on this side, so we're actually backwards on this orbit on the equator. That's fine. Whatever. 174, nope, it's gonna push us back out. Okay. We need to tighten up our orbit first. That's what it's gonna come down to. We need to tighten up the orbit. That'll make it a lot easier. So let's slow that on down. And boom! There we go, about even. Okay, now we can look for that node, shall we? But yeah, so first push out into the big wide galaxy. Here to Duna. I think I want to hit Jewel. I want to hit Moho if I can. I kind of want to hit the close planets, but I want to go out to what's the Pluto equivalent? It's like something or other. Is that it? No, that's Jewel. And it's totally on an outside Elu. It's like on a weird elliptic orbit, and it's off inclination, so it's kind of a hard one to hit. But it looks cool. There's not much there, I guess, but you know, kind of one of those Easter egg planets. So 2 days, 1 day. 16, 15, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're down to the last hour and a half. We need only 36 seconds of burn, but this goes really fast, so I had to watch the, definitely had to watch the time there a bit. Don't want to overshoot it. I had a bad habit of that. I still have a bad habit of that, I should say. So 36 seconds, got 8 minutes, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're getting there. Just about there, folks. Getting ready to do our burn. There it is. The beautiful... Whoa, I went way too far. That's okay. Beautiful sights of Duna, as we see here. That's fine. We can be a little off. It's not a big deal. So burning down our Delta V, we needed about, what was that, 300 to capture? To do this capture burn, or this, I should say, circularization burn. I'm getting my terms all mixed up. It's been a little while, huh? I hope you guys liked some of the other ones we've been doing. XCOM's still going. I kind of do want to play some more Project Zomboid sometime. It's a fun game, and they're definitely doing some good updates on it. So I hope you guys enjoyed those while we were putting them up, and you may see more of them, especially if you guys end up saying you guys like them. I got a ton of other stuff that's been going on as far as games I've been picking up. Oh, the Steam Summer Sale, I tell you. The thing is glorious. Okay, there we go. We're looking good on our orbit. Let's zoom back in and take a peek, shall we? Okay. Now, okay, I think I know what's going on here. I think I know why it says, like, it's closer to 180 than it is to 0. It's because I'm orbiting opposite of Ike, which is causing the issue. So correct this inclination. Should be about 180. And it'll be a reverse orbit inclination, or a reverse orbit, I guess. I don't know what to call that. How are we looking? Our Apple app's going to be 884, whatever, that's fine. That can be corrected. So let's get over to that node. get ready to do that burn. Now, I don't think I'm gonna, well, I'm gonna launch all these probes, and I'll get it filmed, but I don't think I'm gonna really include it, because, well, I might do one of those short, like, just music, videos for you guys to watch for it, because it is kind of a slow process, so maybe I'll put it to some music, show the progress, just so you guys can see and stay on top of what's going on. Okay, so we got about 54, 53, 50, drop in. We need about T-minus 6 seconds for the start of this burn. Getting there, okay. T-minus 12, I'm gonna start the burn right now. Because we're not gonna go full. Ooh, that's pushing good though. Okay, about half there as we cross that middle line, and let's do about the same, out to about T-minus 10 before we finish if we can. There we go. Pretty darn solid, I think. Nope, away with you. Okay, let's target. I can take a look. What are we? We're 180. Awesome. So cool, guys. There we go. Let's take a spin, shall we? Check out Duna. Look at that. We're gonna get some stuff out here. Just let me know if you guys want me to look for anything in particular to land by. I was thinking somewhere along the equator, maybe something on the poles, or I mean, we can go Easter egg hunting. We can land at some of the Easter eggs if we can find them. That might be a bit tricky. I've never actually done Easter egg hunting anywhere other than the Mun and Minmus. So, yeah. In fact, I haven't even been out to the secret airport on Kerbal. If you guys want to see stuff like that, let me know. Right now, I'm just kind of, doing my thing. But, yeah. With that, guys, we're going to call it here, and we'll come back at you next time with a new update. Probably, maybe another probe out to a different planet, but maybe we'll do something here. I guess we'll wait and see. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers.